So in today's lesson, I'm going to talk about square roots and then square root of a fraction. So I'm doing a simple examples of finding square roots for a perfect square numbers. So before I start, the perfect square numbers are the numbers like 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. They are called perfect square numbers. So if you have a square and the area of this square is 1, so 1 unit square, the area of this square is 4 unit square, the area of this is 9, which is 9 unit square. So unit means it could be centimeter or any unit which is given. So in this case, I'm just saying 1 unit square, 4 unit square, and 9 unit square. Now to find the side length of this square, we can write this as, because area is 1, so what are the two numbers when we multiply gives me 1, because area of a square is equal to, so if you have a square with side lengths, so with side lengths A and A, so area is A times A, which is A square. So to find the side length, we need to come up with a number when you multiply by itself gives you 1, which is 1 times 1 is equal to 1. We can also express this 1 times 1 as 1 to the power of 2, 1 squared, which 2 is the exponent, equal to 1. So same for 4. This will be equal to 2 times 2. So what number when you multiply by itself gives you 4? So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So 2 square is equal to 4. And we are talking about the side length of a square, so it cannot be negative. I will also talk about that in a minute. But 2 square is equal to 4. And then 3 times 3 is 9, which is also 3 square is equal to 9. Now, to find the side length, so the right hand side is the area. And from left hand side, 1 times 1 is 1. And you can see from here, which means the side length in this case is 1. Here this is 2 and 2. And here this is 3 and 3. So the left hand side gives me the side length. But the left hand side has a square number. So to find the side length, we use the square root. So to find the side length, we use the square root of the area in this case. So square root. Now what is square root? It is an inverse operation of the squaring of a number. So when you square a number, you get an area. And when you take the inverse operation, which is called a square root, it gives you a side length. In other words, square root is an operation that undoes an exponent of 2. So here you had 1 square is equal to 1. So to find the side length, we'll take the square root of the area, which means square root undoes an exponent of 2. So the one thing which you need to remember is these are called the perfect squares. So I have listed the perfect squares from 1 to 15. And it would be good if you can actually memorize them. So 1 square is equal to 1, 2 square is equal to 4, 3 square is equal to 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square is 64, 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100, 11 square is 121, 12 square is 144, 13 square is 169, 14 square is 196, and 15 square is 225. So to find this, or you can also write in exponent, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, and so on. And which means the side length, or undoes this exponent, or to find the side length, we rewrite this as square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, square root of 25 is 5, square root of 36 is 6, square root of 49 is 7, square root of 64 is 8, and square root of 81 is 9, square root of 100 is 10, square root of 121 is 11, square root of 144 is 12, Square root of 169 is 13. Square root of 196 is 14. And square root of 225 is 15. The another way of kind of like keep that in your mind. So when you have 3 and when you square it, it gives you 9. And from 9, if you need to get 3, you do the inverse operation, which is called square root, and that gives you 3. So the inverse operation, it's just like for addition, the inverse operation is subtraction. Now we know that 5 times 5 is equal to 25. But we also know negative 5 times negative 5 is also 25. So same answer here. So does this mean square root of 25 can be 5 or negative 5? Similarly, for 3 times 3 is 9 and you have negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Again, does that mean square root of 9 will be 3 or negative 3? Before answering that question, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the symbol which we are using for a square root symbol. This is the symbol which we use for it. It looks like a tick mark. So this is a special symbol, and which means we are taking a square root here. And this is also called a radical. So this is also called radical. This symbol is also called radical. Whenever we use the radical sign, the answer is always positive. So when you take square root of 25, we know that 5 times 5 is 25. We also know that negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. But whenever we use the radical sign, the answer is always positive. So square root of 25 is 5, not negative 5. Square root of 9 is 3, not negative 3. Now we are going to do square root of fractions. We can find the square root of fractions exactly in the same way. So when, let's say we have 2 over 5, whole square is equal to 4 divided by 25. So the square root of 4 over 25 is going to be 2 over 5, exactly in the same way. 2 by 5 times 2 by 5 is 4 over 25. Or 2 over 5 whole square is 4 over 25, which means square root of this number is this number by taking a square root, inverse operation of a square. So when you have, also notice that if I find the square root of 4, divide by square root of 25, this is also going to give me 2 over 5, which means square root of 4 over 25 can also be calculated by square root of 4 divided by square root of 25. The answer is going to be exactly the same. Which means if you take the square root of whole fraction, you can always separate them, the square root of numerator divide by square root of denominator. But remember, the numbers in the square root has to be positive. So I'm going to do a couple of examples here. So when you have square root of 4 over 9, again you can use 4 over 9. You can use this property here, or you can do 4 over 9 square root is equal to 2 over 3 times 2 over 3, and then you can write this is 2 over 3. Or I can also separate the numerator and separate the denominator, and now I know square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. Again, remembering the perfect squares will help you to do these questions quickly. Now this one is slightly different than the previous one. Here you have a mixed fraction. So first thing you need to do is you change this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So 2 1/4 is going to be 2 times 4 plus 1 divided by 4. So 9 over 4. Again, you can do this as 3 over 2 times 3 over 2. And then the answer is 3 over 2. Or I can separate them. So this is equal to 3 over 2. So it's up to you. But this one is easier because you just separate. You don't have to think about 9 is 3 times 3 and 4 is 2 times 2, which is not that hard here. it's up to you, and this is the another method where you can separate numerator with numerator and denominator. Now here, so 1 over 2 square is equal to 1 over 2 times 1 over 2, which is equal to 1 over 4. So square root of 1 over 4 is going to be half. Similarly here, 2 over 3 whole square, we can write this as 2 over 3, 2 over 3, and then this becomes 4 over 9, and the answer is 2 over 3. 3 over 7 square, 3 over 7, 3 over 7. This is equal to 9 over 49, and the answer is going to be 3 over 7. That's it for today's video.